So I woke up this morning and I looked at the date and it is the 1st of September. Where has this year gone? I feel like all the lockdowns have just eaten up half of the year or over half of the year, and I haven't really achieved all the fitness goals that I set out. Of course, there were certain goals I couldn't achieve due to not being able to travel, competitions being closed, so I didn't get to compete in the Gold Coast this year. But you know what? I don't want 2020 to be a year that I didn't achieve all the goals I set. So I thought it is time for me to reset my goals, reset my mindset, take you on the journey with me, and also teach you how to set goals for yourself. Because you know what? We all fall off track at times, and the most important thing is that we don't give up. So if you have fallen off track and you're thinking like, oh, you know, I want to start next month or next week, next year even, you want to wait till 2021 for a better year to start living a healthier lifestyle. Instead of having that mindset, let's switch it around and learn with me today on how you can actually set some action-based goals so that you can end 2020 feeling your absolute best, and I'm going to be doing it with you. So without further ado, let's get started. And if you do enjoy this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up. So you know how a lot of YouTubers live in these big houses with really nice kitchens and they have fancy whiteboards? Well, I decided just this afternoon that I wanted to do this video. I didn't have time to get a whiteboard, so you're stuck with my handy dandy piece of paper. But anyway, today I'm going to be talking about objective-based goals and action-based goals and how you can use the two of them to work together to achieve your goals. So the most important thing when it comes to setting goals is to actually have clear, specific goals. For example, someone might say, oh, I want to lose weight. Someone else might say, I want to lose 25 pounds. So 25 pounds is definitely more specific than just saying, I want to lose weight. But both of them are still classed as objective goals because they're kind of what you want out of the goal, but you need to have action-based goals for actions that you're going to take in order to achieve the objective goal. Got it? So being more specific with your objective-based goals is great. For example, I want to lose 25 pounds. Now, following on from that, you've got your action-based goals. The problem with having just an objective-based goal is that you don't actually know what you need to do in order to lose the 25 pounds. So coming over to say like the action-based side of it, it might be that, you know, you're going to start learning to count your calories. You're going to start walking each day. You're going to commit to 3 to 4 gym workouts a week. And you set in these specific goals that I like to refer to as daily habits that you can do each day in order to take you closer to losing that 25 pounds at the end, the objective goal. So I thought what I would do is kind of talk you through my goals for the rest of the year. Hopefully it inspires you with a few of your goals, and then talk about that action and the objective based goals around those. So I hope that this helps you. It's something that I've been really working on, and I thought I'd just write them down on a big piece of paper so that you can maybe read them, just pause the video and have a read through, but I'll also talk through them, and then we can kind of see how this can be applied to you and your goals for the rest of this year. Before getting on to my personal goals, I wanted to talk about why it's important to have action and objective-based goals. Both of them go hand in hand, and of course, both is going to be better than either or. But if you had to choose one, I would say going for the action-based goals, like setting daily step targets or choosing to count your calories and things like that, because as you take those actions, you begin to build up momentum, you start to see progress, and that kind of just snowball effects and takes you further down the path than having an objective goal and being so overwhelmed that you never even start. So action is always going to be the number one focus. You cannot expect things to change if you don't change. Okay, so I will start with my objective goals. I kind of broke them down into a few different things. Nutrition is a big one for me, and I chose mindful eating as a really important one for me just because I've had such a roller coaster with my fitness journey. I've always had competitions to shredding to gaining muscle, and it's just been quite a roller coaster in the last 3 years, having 4 competitions, and I have spoken about that in other YouTube videos. So I want to be more mindful with my food, and what that looks like to me is probably going to be different to a lot of you. For me, that is using If It Fits Your Macros. So I'm still going to be tracking my calories, but I thought I would add in a non-negotiable of hitting 25 grams of fiber. So on my action-based goals, I've set that I want to hit 25 grams of fiber along with focusing on my proteins, fats, and carbs. The reason why I set fiber as a goal is because one, it'll help me with satiation and digestion. It'll help me feel nice and full. It'll help with my digestive system. But it will also help me kind of make sure that I'm choosing more whole foods as opposed to too many soul foods. So I'm really aiming for the 80 to 20% balance when it comes to my food. Another nutrition goal that kind of flows on from that is also better relationship with food. And I do get a lot of emails from girls on the squad and people that want to join the squad about having a better relationship with food. And we all have our own struggles. And again, I think mine really does stem down to the extremes of competing and things like that. So me not competing this year and most likely most of next year is really giving me time to work on myself. And at the end of the day, I am only human and I never try and pretend to be anything else. So always keep that real with you. But I thought the way for me to handle that action-based will be journaling my feelings and staying accountable. So it's going to be staying accountable as I talk about it later on with progress photos, measurements, and check-ins, but also journaling how I feel each day and how I'm going. So even just little things of like writing how I felt emotionally in a day. So if I did feel a little bit more hungry, maybe it was tied to something emotionally, or maybe I didn't sleep quite right. So there's lots of different things that can lead to us having a negative or a positive relationship with food. And for me, that's just a personal journey that I need to work on. Strength. So I set some really cool strength goals. Last month was the strongest month I have ever had. So I hit 130 kilo sumo deb, which is the biggest lift I've ever done. I hit, I think, 107.5 kilo squat, which is the heaviest squat I've ever done. So I thought I would up those and aim for 140 kilo sumo deb this year, 115 kilo squat, and I'm going for 120 kilo hip thrust. I haven't really been doing heavy hip thrust before, so that is going to come from my actions, which will be focusing on progressing with my workouts in the gym. So I'm going to make sure that I'm getting to the gym and I am actually always focused on squeezing the muscles, actually training, not playing on my phone, and really just having focused sessions. Along with that 8 hours of sleep, I always know that I am not quite feeling my best if I don't get enough sleep the night before. So making sure that I have a really good sleep routine, winding down properly so that I can sleep properly, wake up in the morning and slay my workout. And then rest days and recovery, making sure that I'm foam rolling, making sure that I'm going to physio, at least once a month to get checked and make sure that I'm training my body in alignment, and also making sure that I am taking at least 2 rest days off. So I like to go to the gym about 5 days a week, but if not, I might go 6 days and I still have 1 full rest day where I just hit my steps. Another goal I had is based around aesthetics. So for me, I am on social media, I am an online coach, and I felt like there's always been a lot of pressure around how I should look. But in reality, I never started my Instagram to have abs. I never started going to the gym to change how I looked. It was only when I started competing that people online started following the kind of fat loss journey side of things. And so for me, that's been a big mind game, and I really had to put my health first. So as you would have seen my monthly cycle type video in July, I did get my cycle back. It only came back for 1 month. It didn't come back in August, so I'm still working on that. I did gain some weight in order to try and get it back, but I do feel like I'm feeling a little less comfortable in my clothes right now. And if you're stressing about anything, that's not good for you. So if I'm not feeling quite 100 each day in my own skin and just how I feel, then of course that's going to raise my stress levels. So for me, it's not about, getting crazy shredded or anything like that. It's just about reining things in and feeling even more comfortable in my own skin. And I'm not saying that I don't like how I look now. Like, I can always do a video on body image if you want that. Just let me know in the comments. But I'm just saying I would feel a little bit more comfortable in my clothes and things like that if I was a little bit at more of a healthier range for me. I just feel like I sit better a few kilos lighter. So of course, do not compare your journey to mine or how you look to me. It is all based on individual personal choices, and that's just my choice. I don't want anyone to think that I'm not happy with where I am, because I am so happy with where I am, but that's just my own goal. So roughly around 20 to 21%. And honestly, I haven't weighed in so long. We've been in lockdown. I didn't have a scale, don't really want to weigh in, so I'm just going to focus on how I feel. I'm not setting a specific weight goal with that. And then in terms of fat loss, the main things are going to be a caloric deficit. So that means tracking my macros. It will be weighing in and photos and measurements every maybe 2 weeks, or maybe even each month, not sure. I think every 2 weeks is more consistent, and that's just an accountability thing, because sometimes I feel like if you're not having those kinds of check-ins, like photos, you will miss the progress that's actually being made, because you see yourself every day in the mirror, so you actually don't notice the little changes that's happening. So I think taking photos every 2 weeks is a great way to measure your progress. And then another action-based goal, which is a little bit more specific in regards to the weigh-ins and things. In all honesty, I think for me to get back down to like a reasonable level where I know I've had my period in the past and I can maintain it, would honestly be about 15 pounds less than where I am right now. But of course, you can't put a number on this. I would hope that I have built more muscle in the past 6 months and that maybe I'm a little bit heavier than where I was before because I've built muscle. Mindset. So one of the goals I wanted to set for myself was being kind to myself, and this is something I really am so passionate about with the Anjuli Fit Squad and everyone on my Fit for Life Instagram community. I just think it's so important to really appreciate where you are on your journey, wherever it is, whether it's your day 1, day 100, 5-year journey. Just appreciate how far you've come, where you are right now, and do it from a place of self-love. Like, my action-based goal around that is to pretty much just not look in the mirror every time I walk by it. Like, there's no need for me to be, you know, looking in the mirror each time I walk past a mirror. And it's very ingrained in me from competing to, you know, check the mirror for abs when you're shredding down for a competition, and you just get so fixated on how you look. And in reality, you're so much more than just a physical being. Like, you have to be more than that. You have to be kind to yourself, and you have to know that people are going to love you regardless of what weight you are, what number on a scale says. And in all honesty, it doesn't actually matter if they love you or don't, because what matters most is that you love you. And I know that I love myself now, and I love myself when I'm leaner, I love myself when I'm heavier. That doesn't matter, but I always feel my best and I feel most confident on the inside and the outside when I'm really in control with my nutrition. Along with that, it's just making sure I'm not picking myself apart in the mirror, and just being aware of what I'm saying in my head, and just cutting out any negative thoughts and replacing them with more positive ones. Like, a common thing I always had, you know, I'd always wear shorts, and people would tell me that they were so afraid to wear shorts because they thought that their legs were big. And oh gosh, I think that my legs are big too, but I train my legs so hard. Yeah, they're thick, but I actually love them, and I'm so grateful for them, because without them I wouldn't be able to run everywhere that I do when I've got meetings here and there. They also squat so much weight, they deadlift, they allow me to get through my life, and I absolutely love the body I'm in just because of everything it allows me to do in my life. So for me, kindness is just a big one. I just have to be aware of my thoughts. I feel like I'm talking a lot in this video, but I'll quickly get through the next one. So super simple, read self-development books. I absolutely love reading, so that could be a simple thing of reading every second day. Nothing too crazy that I'm not going to stick to, but I have a lot of books I want to read. So just reading a few pages every second day, or even each night before I go to bed, is a good way to wind down and just allow me to actually get in some new knowledge to help with my mental development and self-development. Another one, 8,000 steps daily. When I'm shredding, usually I'll do 10,000 steps every day, but just to limit any kind of extra stress to my body, I am aiming for the 8,000 step range, and we'll see how my body responds. Following on from that, I can do that by walking on the treadmill after my weighted workout, and also going for walks either at lunchtime or after work to make sure I hit those steps. And I have a tracker on my wrist to help with that. And then lastly, my other goals are kind of like health related. I want to get my heart rate back down below 50, and I want to get my cycle back regularly. So getting my heart rate below 50 resting just means that I'm more relaxed, and I know that it always comes up when I gain weight, and it always seems to come up when my eating's not quite on track. So by making sure that I'm staying on point with my nutrition, making sure that I'm limiting my stress levels will help with both of these. In terms of stress, the way that I will plan to limit that is going to be with better time management. So it's being more structured throughout my day, making sure that I'm not spending forever replying to DMs on my phone, being very specific and time blocking out things like, you know, 2 hours for squad emails in the morning, half an hour for DMs on maybe the treadmill after a workout, you know, just being very specific with my time so that I don't feel stressed, and making sure that I finish work by a certain time each night, which is usually 6:30 at night, so that I can have time to actually read or wind down, catch up with Ross after a day at work, and just make sure that I get that quality deep sleep that I need in order to train better in the gym, to feel better, to control my hunger hormones, and go throughout my week. So that was a lot of talking about goals, but I hope that that kind of inspires you to set some of your own goals. So for someone that says, you know what, I want to be healthy. It might mean that you need to set some more specific goals. Like, I'm going to eat a big salad every day. I'm going to eat a piece of fruit every day. I'm going to commit to going to the gym 3 times a week. Keep it super simple. Aim for progress over perfection. So if you walk under 5,000 steps a day, don't try and go straight into 10,000 steps every day, because you might end up not hitting that and then feeling like you're failing before you even give it a good shot. So maybe you'll aim for 6,000 steps one week, then 7,000, then 8,000, and bring that up as you go on. So I just think that so many people get overwhelmed by their big goals that they forget that it just takes one step closer each day to achieve those big goals. And you know what? The time is going to pass anyway, so you may as well be using that time productively to get you close to those goals. And in all honesty, my journey has been a roller coaster. I have never tried to hide that from all of you, and I knew that this video was important for me to do. And I do want to elaborate more on it when I feel more comfortable to do so, but I just think that, you know what? It's time for me to turn things around to get my nutrition on point. My training's always been like on point, love training, but let's be honest, nutrition is the hardest thing for like everyone. So it's going to be like just reining it in a bit. It's going to be tightening things up. I will make sure that I take some transformation photos. I'll take you on the journey with me. I'll show you what I'm eating in a day, and I hope that you really enjoy my YouTube videos and my little chit chats. I hope that you learn something, it helps you, and as always, I'm only a message away. So as always, if you did enjoy this video, please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and smart.